Hello, everybody. Thank you, TiECON, for having me here today. Anisha said it all. I think I just need to walk away, and she's actually said it word to word. But, that's all the glamour part, what happened to me after I left Kerala. I left Kerala 30 years ago, and I've come back to my roots 30 years hence. And that journey is what I want to talk to you about today. I'm actually a little nervous. There are too many men out there. I relate better with women. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Okay. So the thing is, I went to Uti to study. My parents thought, let's get 4 girls, Gopika, Ambika, Devika, Renuka. Let's get all of them really smart and speaking good English and whatever my dad thought. Send us to study in Uti. And I thought he sent me there to play and have a blast. So that's what I did. I'd never studied. And I didn't know why I was struggling with my studies, It's much later on in life that I found out that I was highly dyslexic. And struggled so much. In fact, listen, I failed in the second standard. No kid fails in the second standard. I failed in the second standard because I couldn't write. All my 7s were 9s and my 4s were something else. My Bs were Ds and my Ps were something else. Yeah, so they couldn't understand because those days nobody knew what dyslexia was all about. And I found out much later on in life. But by then, of course, whatever. So when I was 16, Achan looked at me and said, "Ninakku kalyanam kazhikkanam, ninakku college pono." Without blinking, I said, "Kalyanam kazhicha madhi acha." I said, there's no question of going to college and all. I struggled right through school. And then now you're asking me if I want to get married or to go to college? No question. So I got married at 17. Such a huge mistake. And I was just listening to Sam and the other speakers, and he was talking about how education is so important. I cannot begin to tell you how important it is. But when you have a defect like I do in my brain, then studies is out of the question, seriously. Got married. And the worst thing was, like people, every time they interview me, they said, "Ambika, what was your dream?" My dream was to be happily married with 4 kids, 2 homes, one up in the hills, one next to the seaside, maybe 2 dogs. That was my dream. Yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah? But out of that, I managed a few things. Managed 1 daughter, 1 home next to the sea, 2 dogs. Oof. And, so the marriage didn't work. When I'm to Achan and I told him, "Acha, this marriage isn't working." Yeah? And he was so devastated. He was like, "Out of the 4 girls, I thought you were the most happy married out of the lot." And I said, "No." So I asked him, I said, "Acha, can I become a casual exporter just like you?" And he said, "No." Put his foot down. Yeah? He says, "This is for boys." I said, "But you don't have a son." And I'm like a guy, my voice and everything about me. And he said, "No. Adangi odingi oru sthalathu irundha madi. Especially now, since you're, divorced and stuff, stay at home. But me, I'm a Sagittarian. I've got wings on my feet." So I told Achan, "I'm sorry, I can't. I know you will look after." I was born with the proverbial silver spoon in my mouth. By 13, he had already taken me to Rome and America and everything else, along with my sisters. So that's the life I'd led. Amazing life. And here at 17, after all that disaster happened, I was telling him, "I don't want to stay married and I want to look after your business." And he just said no. So Kavi was 2 years old. Kavita is her name. I picked her up, much against my dad's wishes. Amma, of course, I think mothers tend to, help out much more. Achan was like, "No question. Nee oradathum ponda." And I told him I'm going off to faraway Delhi. I said, "Achan, I'll go and learn how to, do waxing and manicures and pedicures and come back and open a small salon. It's a women-oriented business." I said, "Acha, you won't have a problem with that." Okay, I'm not going to be meeting the Russians and the Americans and selling nuts to them. At least I'll be doing some waxing and manicure and pedicure, right? So Achin said, no. Ponda, Oradatham Ponda, just stay in Kollam. And then I was like, but I don't want to stay here. I want to stand on my own 2 feet. And he was like, nee poi cheetha pere vaangichonde veruthullu. And I was like, he cheetha pere enduva? I mean, I'm already divorced at 24, yeah? How much worse can that name get, Anyway, so much against his wishes, I left. Picked up Kavi, 2 years old. And when I say much against his wishes, that means Amma's the one who gave me the money from behind his back. And as far as he was concerned, he was not going to support this. Went off to Delhi. And I thought I'll do this little course and then come back to Kollam. That never happened. I did the course and I got offered my first job. So my first job was 2,000 rupees, which I was so proud of. I called up Achana and I said, Acha, 2,000 rupees is my pay. And he said, and I was like, no, So, and I have to tell you, my first vehicle was a moped. And those were the happiest days of my life. I used to put Kavi at the back of my bike, $50 petrol in my tank. We used to zip across Delhi, India Gate and Qutub Minar, and come back home, and I used to tell her stories of Ooty and drop off to sleep at the drop of a hat. Now I can't sleep, But anyway, so all that happened, and I started working, and I got thrown out of my job. First job I was thrown out of. Second job I was thrown out of. Third job I realized, I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to be my own boss, So I went to my teacher, my mentor, and he was also a senior hairstylist at the same salon. His name is Sylvie, and he's gay. And I told him, Sylvie, why don't we just start our own salon? Yeah. He said, if you adhere to 3 rules, my golden rules, I'll become your partner. I was like, what are those 3 rules? He says, 1, the salon will be named after me. Secondly, you will touch no man of mine, and I will touch no man of yours. And third, some other random. So I said, okay. And he says, you have to invest. So I called up Achin. He invested. We started a salon. Overnight, Sylvie became a household name in Delhi. I was just his shadow. Nobody knew who Ambika Pillai was. And I was actually quite happy just being in the shadows. 6 years later, his brother comes to me and says, I hope you realize my brother is just robbing you blind. I was like, what? What do you mean robbing me blind? So that's what he did. So I got out of that partnership with nothing. And it was just really tough. I mean, I didn't even have money to buy Kavi food. So I decided, let's start another business, same business with another person. It was like jumping from the frying pan into the fire because I chose yet another friend. And that partnership went on for 15 years. In 15 years, Sylvie walked off with lakhs. Mohit walked off with crores. I mean, I saw KPMG up here. So KPMG, we had to get in KPMG to come in and go through all the mess that he had created. And they gave me some 30 crores or something like that. I was shocked. But that was 16 years of hard work. My best years of my life I had put into that job. So that happened only 11, 12 years ago, that I was left penniless yet again. But I just have to tell you, that 15 years that we started, after Sylvie happened, we started Visions by Ambika, the salon's name. So we left Sylvie behind and everything else. So Mohit and me as partners started Visions by Ambika. And Visions, I had to change the name because I kept thinking it's more like eye testing place, no? Visions by Ambika. So I changed it to Ambika Pillai. And Ambika Pillai, what happened was, when it was Visions by Ambika, we started, I used to do 2 cuts in a day, and I used to do 1 makeup in a month or 6 months. And those 2, in this business of mine, the beauty business, it's only word of mouth. I was at the right place at the right time in Delhi at that point of time. Yeah. And word of mouth, those 2 clients went and told their 10 friends. Those 10 friends told 100 others. And Within 6 months, if you called Ambika Pillai for a haircut appointment, you would get it 3 months later. Not 3 days, not 3 weeks, 3 months later. So every 15 minutes, I was cutting hair. I was cutting hair, and we had just, I had just about touched every single girl's hair in Delhi when my thumb just collapsed. Occupational hazards, the scissor movement. So my doctor, steroid shots, everything, and he says, I'm sorry, Ambika, you can't cut hair. So I put my scissor down, and I picked up my makeup brush. Yes, how Anisha said that I was never trained for makeup. So I picked up my makeup brush, and I started doing makeup. The second face I did, I won the National Award for Best Makeup Artist of the Year. And I was like, wow. I decided, yes, that's when I realized that God has given me some magic in my hands. Yeah. So since then, every award that my industry has to offer, I have bagged it. But when disaster hits me, every time I hit rock bottom, I realize the only way to go is up. I cannot keep scratching and go further down. But it's happened to me way too many times. And I cannot keep just telling myself, ooh, I'm this creative soul, so I cannot, look into my accounts. I still can't look into my accounts. So last year, my 2 accountants walked off with 2 crores. Yeah. So now, when is this going to stop? I was like, when? Because I cannot. Really, my 6s are still 9s. And how did I find out I was dyslexic? In thirds, when Kavi was in the 3rd standard, I got a call from a teacher and said, please come to school. And then she looked at me and she said, your daughter's dyslexic. And I started howling. I was like, oh my God, I thought it was some strange disease. And she said, well, you've got to get her tested and you'll find out. So I got her tested and I got tested, and both of us are highly dyslexic. Now I have one kid. So I told Kavi, listen, I need to teach you how to do makeup and hair, and you have to take on this business that I've built for like some 25 years. And she said, Amma, make me do anything else, but I don't want to get into the beauty industry. She's this creative, she's this amazing soul who wants to do rainwater harvesting and solar energy and pashune, pala karaka, all that. That's what she wants to do. She wants to do organic farming. She doesn't want to make people look beautiful and cut their hair. But anyway, she came to me 2 years ago and she said, I think I should. Because I told her, listen, Kuta, I'm going to give it to the neighbor's kids, this business. Because you don't want this. So anyway, she came back, and now she's like, the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree, because she's a kick-ass makeup artist and hairstylist. She's just like her mom, actually, and she's the GM of the company and everything else. Now, through all this madness that happened in Delhi, I had a huge bone to pick with my home state. Other than Hari, who's here, and Krishnan, and my mum and dad, and my other cousins, and Jayan, maybe. Other than these people, nobody knew who Ambika Pillai was in Kerala. Nobody. I mean, I was winning the best makeup artist for Vogue, for Cosmo, for Elle. But Kerala, I believe, lives in a bubble of its own, where makeup and hair and beauty is concerned. Nobody thinks it's a great deal to get anything done. I mean, even men are like, beauty parlor hi poena. What nonsense, Very few people actually go and get a pedicure done, or a manicure for that matter. Veeti irunna color mudi, but nobody really likes to self-groom. So I had a huge problem with the fact that only Amma and Achin and my cousins know who I am, Anyway, forget it and all that. Is when I got a call one day from MMTV, and they said, ma'am, Midiki no oriyunde program, can you come and judge it? And I'm like, illa patatilla. And I put down the phone. And they're like, what? So Miriam actually got on a flight and came to Delhi. And she said she's Jayan's wife. And she sat down and she said, okay. She comes to me for haircuts anyway to Delhi. And she said, this time I'm not here for a haircut. I'm here to talk to you. She said, what do you mean, patatilla? You can't do the show. I said, my Malayalam is horrendous. The whole of Kerala laugh at me. I can't talk in Malayalam. She said, listen, the Malayalam that I'm talking now is only after 90 episodes of Midiki. You should have seen me in the first episode of Midiki. I was so bad. But I'm 54 now, and 9 years of my entire life I've lived in Kerala, so I still think I'm pretty good. But I came back, 25 years of hard work in Delhi, and one TV show in Kerala. It changed my life around. And while Midiki happened, I was so harrowed about nobody knowing me. Now the bus will overtake my car and the bus driver will say, "Hello, Ambika ma'am." It's amazing the reach the television has. It's amazing how Kerala has embraced me with wide open arms. It is just amazing to be back home. Because I just felt my roots pull me back. And you know what I did with Midiki? All I did was just open my mouth and tell the women and the men that dark skin is beautiful. Because I believe it is. That curly hair is something to be rejoiced with. Because there were girls hiding behind closed doors saying, "Ayyo, ഞാൻ കറുത്ത കുട്ടിയാ, എൻ്റെ മുടി ചുരുണ്ടിരിക്കുക. I don't want to get out there." And that's all I told them. I never told them, do this much makeup and wear high heels and do this and that. No. All I said was self-groom yourself. Look after yourself. God has given you these gorgeous, beautiful hair and beautiful features, and you're not looking after yourself. So people in Kerala sat up. I think with Midiki, I just caught hold of Kerala and I just shook it up. And they all just got up and they realized, oh my God. And of course, being divorced and all that, I had gone through the whole thing. And here I was, preaching beauty and whatever. Self-grooming actually more so. So all through my hectic, can I just take a break here? Listen, that clock isn't working. I don't know how long I'm supposed to talk for. Because he pointed out and said, clock no kya madi. So I have 1 more minute. Okay, fine. Yeah. So through this hectic life that I was leading in Delhi, the only way I could kind of de-stress, unwind, is when I used to come back home and make these little concoctions of body scrubs and how to take off marks from your face and how to keep yourself hydrated and clean. I used to make it, give it to Kavi, I used to give it to all my friends, I used to give it to all the models, designers, everybody. Everybody. And, and that is how I used to let my steam off and chill and relax. The stars. Let's talk about the stars. Anisha had said that I'd done this one's makeup, that one's makeup, everybody's makeup, right? Yes, I did everybody's makeup and hair because they sat on my chair as little kids before they became these mega Bollywood stars and Hollywood, some of them. Aishwarya Rai first sat on my chair, got her hair and makeup done, and then went for Miss India and whatever. So all of them, Katrina, Deepika, Bipasha, every single one of them has first sat on my chair. So if they're chewing gum, I say, spit it out, they'll quickly spit it out. They're petrified of me. Yeah. So it's not that makeup artists are like, we get thrown around. No, in the beginning, yeah, probably. But I think if you put your foot down, you're well respected in the industry. So anyway, so all these little things that I used to make at home, I used to send it to Ash and to Sersh and to Bipasha and everybody else. And they used to love it. And they used to keep saying, "Oh God, Ambu, where can I order this from?" And I'm like, "No, I'll just make it for you." So when I came to Kerala and when Midiki happened, Kavi was like, "Amma, all the phone lines are crushed. All our no emails are going out, coming in, nothing. Because there are people who want to speak to you and they don't know how to get in touch with you. So can I please open a Facebook page?" And I'm like, "Kuda, I can't. I'm not savvy with internet and social media." And she said, "I'll teach you." So she opened a Facebook page for me. And the first 5,000 people who liked the page, I was like high five with my daughter, Right now, there are some 830,000 people. Out of that, I would say, thank you. Out of that, I would say there are 7 lakh Malayalis on the page. And there are like 1.5 lakh other people on the page. But I am never bored anymore. I'm never lonely anymore. Because I keep talking to all these souls that keep writing to me. And all their problems they tell me. Not talking about whether they're fighting with their husbands. I'm talking about, "Oh my God, ma'am, I have dandruff. Oh my God, ma'am, I have this, that and the other." And I'm constantly telling them what to do and how to do it. And I post these little things on. And then Tata Sky, somebody from there watched it and they got in touch with me and said, ma'am, we want you to do a mini series of what you do on your page with Tata Sky. Do you know? I said, no, I can't. Obviously, I say, no, I can't for everything. Yeah. So they said, do you even know what this means? This means it'll go to 100 million homes. Right now, you're reaching out to 8.5 lakh people. We want whatever you're making, how to make your vitamin C serums and how to make your creams and gels. We want that to go to 100 million homes. So I just finished shooting their series with them. And in this amazing thing, I had, people kept in between Kore Kallamaira, everybody came to me and said, ma'am, we'll make your cream and all that. Can we sell it in the market? And I was like, yeah, very excited in the beginning. I remember going through a couple of cousins of mine and saying, can you invest in my creams and all that? And they were like, no, we are all casual exporters. So we will continue doing that. Yeah, Krishnan? So anyway, so out of the blue, AVA, the people who bring Medimix and Malam to you, they got in touch with me. And now I have tied up with them. And we have actually brought out Ketra, which is my baby. Because it's natural, it's amazing. There's just amazing things that are happening. We have right now gone, that's my latest thing that it's happening. We have gone to thousands of stores in Kerala. Lulu's going mad right now. And then we go into Middle East, 6 GCC countries in the Middle East. And then Malaysia, Singapore, the rest of India. That is a dream that is going to come true. And it is coming true for me. I just want to say that my journey, leaving Kerala, coming back to Kerala. I come back with a lot of knowledge that I've picked up over the years, a lot of heartache of people cheating and robbing me, 2 marriages that didn't work. So I've just decided, I think I'll just give that a break. I'll just concentrate on everything else. So these are things that failures will happen to everybody, And dreams are things, yes, I had a dream of being happily married. But if you keep a dream and a target out there and you go after it, you're going to miss out on all the little things that are going to make your life work. For me, along the way, I picked up all these little things and I worked so hard at it and it all happened for me. I don't only dream for one thing. Like I want to do this and that's all I want to do. No, I want to do so many things and I have been doing it and I am doing it now. So don't ever give up. Don't ever think because you're a girl that it's not for you, that you cannot stand on your own 2 feet and that you'll only that's just rubbish. And Achin finally admitted, yeah. Because my dad, after being so upset about the whole thing, the first time my article came out in the Elle magazine, he took some 100 printouts and gave it to all his friends. That's so cute. And when I used to go back to Kollam, I used to cut his hair. He used to go to Rotary Club and say, Ambika vettiyadu. Yeah, he is a proud father. Me, my biggest and my saddest moment was when we lost him to cancer. And because of it, at 40, I went bald. And at 40, I realized that charity has to start. It's a little too late in life. There are kids now who are donating hair towards charity. I started supporting Can Kids, that's children suffering from cancer, very late in life. But I think that everybody at some point will, when the time is right, that will happen too. So it's a circle that's happened for me. I left and I've come right back. Because eventually your roots will yank. For me, it yanked me back. It wasn't a question of anything else. Just pull me back. Great force. And I'm just so happy to be here. I just love being back home. I'm still based in Delhi, but I come home every month. Thank you so much, TiECON, for having me here today. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you.